This is the Say It Can't Gamer, and you are live with the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
Boom, 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 boom.
No way.
Oh!
From the Queen Studios of New York. That's right. Is Andrea Lee's husband a Nazi? Is UFC Utica coming up? No, it happened already. We're recapping that. UFC 225 Fight Week with the MMA-Holes. Yeah!
Wonderful, wonderful.
Stumbling through the intro like a motherfucker. What's going on? I see they're dropping loads in the chat. That's wonderful, wonderful. Let's get some let's get some faps in that chat too as well. Let's have a fap party tonight. It's Monday night, the MMA Holes Hour. Jessie Belle Hill's here. My arm is trickling through. It's like magic. That's Jessie Belle Hill. Everyone say hello to Jessie Belle Hill. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight in a short amount of time. So make sure you get your comments inside that little device over here, that little tablet. Make sure it's scrolling through very nicely. Make sure you check out the MMAHoles.com for our topics. That's right. That's right. It's wonderful, wonderful. What we're going to talk about tonight is this. UFC Utica happened, and we're going to recap that. A lot of stuff to talk about there. UFC 225 Fight Week is this weekend. We will be doing one of the biggest fight buddies of all time for this weekend, UFC 225. And here is Jessie Belle Hill, who is sparkling right next to me. Jessie, how's it going today?
I am wonderful, wonderful as always. How are you today?
I'm good. Well, it could be better, but I'm good. I'm good. It's that time of the year, you know, where you don't feel well, but it's fine. Everything's going to be good because there's no sick days in the MMA Holes. There's no sick days because we are always wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Now, we're going to start off the show with a controversial topic. This actually happened a couple of days back, but it's still here, and people are still talking about this, and it keeps on getting brought back up. So we made this the big topic of the show, and right off the bat, people are like, oh, my God, SJW and stupidity and all that bullshit. We're going to give our opinion on this story over here. That's right. Is Andrea Lee's husband a Nazi? Now, some people are like, Andrea Lee?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Well, the Andrea Lee, she's in the UFC now. This girl is a badass, and she had a very impressive appearance, first debut in the UFC, and a picture shows up, and boom, you see a Nazi symbol on his arm. On both sides of his arm, he has some symbols over here. Now, I'm going to be giving you my opinion. Jessie's going to be giving you her opinion. But Jessie Belle Hill, who has broke the story on the MMAHoles.com. Jessie, if you can just maybe talk us through this as we get this party started on the MMA Holes Hour.
All right. So Andrea Lee's husband is also her coach, in case people were not already aware. So Donny Aaron is his name. And when the news came out that, or when someone found it and the whole hype started with the swastika that they found on his left forearm, they ended up doing some more digging and found an SS logo on his right arm. The SS logo isn't in the article, but they did talk about the negative hype surrounding the whole picture and how it affected Andrea Lee and why it puts a bad image on them, I guess. So now he had to put out this whole apology talking about how he got it when he was in prison in his 20s, and he's not the same person that he was anymore. And it was none other than Flying Brian, who decided to air this news on one of the articles that we got the information from. So he's not the same person anymore. I think everyone just sort of judged a book by its cover the moment they saw it, and everyone jumped on the bandwagon because when there's drama, everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah,
well, pretty much it.
Yeah, so if you're just jumping in, we saw this. It happened a couple of days ago, and we're like, we kind of just brushed by it, right? And it's actually funny on the MMA Holes when we were streaming. I think it was a Friday night stream. The audience was like, Chris, would you ever get a swastika tattooed on yourself for $1 million? And I was like, fuck yeah. I don't give a shit. I don't tattoo anything on myself for $1 million. Sure. Now, it's bizarre that story comes up. People in the chat room like, would you get that tattooed on you? And then, boom, this story comes out. And this gentleman does have a tattoo of a swastika on him. Now, all right, listen, the symbol of a swastika is something that people are like, ew, burning Jews and doing all that fun stuff. Well, that's disgusting. You can't fucking walk around with something like that. You see the Nazis symbol and you just run for the hills. But all right, so maybe he just made a dopey decision and got that tattoo. But here's the thing, and here's the deal. I'm a tattooed man, right? Jessie's a tattooed woman. We have art on ourselves, okay? People make some really fucking stupid decisions in their lives, right? And I don't think any of my decisions are stupid when it comes to my tattoos. I love my tattoos. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about them, and I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck because it marks times in his lives. Some people change. But here's the problem. Here's the problem that I have with this whole story, okay? They put their whole thing out there, and we're going to get a little bit deeper into the story. But there is indeed a swastika on his arm. So, all right, we can all go there. Okay, there it is. You scroll down a little bit, and you see, like Jessie said, Flying Brian, right? The biggest cunt of all time. Well, there's a couple of cunts out there, but Flying Brian he's a big fucking homo, right? And Jessie also dropped it in the article. A notorious triggered cunt named Flying Brian, see below. Now, look at this. All right, here's his tweet. Oh, whoopsie, I'm blocked. Whoopsie do. Flying Brian blocked me a long time ago, right? So we can't look at what he's tweeted, but thankfully, the wonderful world of the internet, we can actually see what this cunt tweeted, right? And Andrea Lee's husband has a swastika tattooed on his forearm. Like who? What the fuck? Flying Brian, that fucking piece of shit, real big piece of shit, is trying to be like, oh my god, her husband has a swastika. Now listen, we're not condoning Nazis. We're not saying Nazis are great, but let's get the fucking story before you're like, oh my god, a fucking swastika on his arm. This is terrible. And then he follows it up. Look at this. Hold on, let me click on the tweet. Whoopsie, I'm blocked. Like, you can't fucking see it. Oh well, let's click on this. Thanks to the wonderful world of the internet, Flying Brian. Now, I now will cheer against Lee. Like fucking Andrea Lee gives a fuck about Flying Brian cheering her on. She gives a flying fuck that Flying Brian is cheering her on. Flying Brian, what the fuck? Like seriously, are you the biggest cunt on the internet? MMA media, whatever the fuck you do over there with your shit ass channel, and then all of a sudden you're calling, oh my god, he's got a fucking swastika on his. Who cares? Now, if you read what her husband, and Jessie, maybe if you can read this out. It says, please read. All right, now this is long, and we're going to see, Jessie, is it okay if you read this, or would you mind reading this to the audience, because this is the response. I
can read it as long as the audience doesn't mind
a
semi-long read.
Niall Flanagan says, Chris, you and Flying Brian needs to have a sit down. Now, does anyone in this chat room give a fuck about Flying Brian? This guy, he's plagiarized. He's fucking ripped off a good friend of mine, right? And it's very obvious that he's done this. He's the most uncomfortable person to watch in MMA media, and this is the deal. We didn't go after this cunt. This cunt said shit about me and then blocked me, right? He fucking called me out. I didn't call this motherfucker out. He called me out. And he fucking blocks me because he's a big fucking pussy, right? He's a pussy fart. That's what Flying Brian is. And now here's the husband side of the story. Now, make this clear. I'm going to make this clear with all you motherfuckers. I don't care, right? I don't care what you have tattooed on your body. I don't give a fuck what you do behind. Knock yourself out, right? Just knock. Who gives a fuck? But there's always two sides to every story, right? There's always two sides of every story. I see a lot of no's in the chat. Who the fuck is that guy, right? Exactly. We're probably making him famous by putting him on the fucking MMA, just even speaking his name on the MMA-Holes. It's ridiculous.
We're making him famous.
Yeah. Here's your 2 seconds of fame, flying cunt. All right. Anyway, here's the statement, okay, from Andrea Lee's husband. All right. So it's going to take a little time, but this is what he had to say about it. Now, you could take what you want for this. You can say, oh well, he's right, he's wrong. Who cares, right? And this SJW shit. And this fucking libtard, like, guys, what are we doing? This guy sounds like an SJW. Like, First of all, listen, call him a fucking faggot. Call him that instead of an SJW or a libtard. I don't know what the fuck that even means. I'm not a political person, nor do I care about politics, but it is what it is. This is stupid. Steve Johnson says a swastika is used every day. He's stupid and knows nothing. Okay.
Wonderful.
All right, so let's see what this guy said. All right, Jessie.
Sorry, so I had to.
It's a long one.
I prepared myself for the long-winded letter.
Okay.
All right. From Donny Aaron. Please read this and accept my most sincere apologies to all I have offended when the photos of my tattoos became public. I'd most like to apologize to Andrea and my brother Kendrick, both pictured, for putting them in the position to feel they need to defend me when there is no defense or justification for the aberrant tattoos that I shamedly wear. I'd also like to apologize to her employers at the UFC for bringing them shame and embarrassment. Not least of these, I apologize to MMA fans worldwide for giving the sport a temporary black eye and for offending so many of those who supported us for years.
Okay, hold on for a second. Just hold that thought. Just hold your spot in the story.
I'm holding my spot.
All right, hold that spot. Now, here's the deal, okay? He's apologizing for his actions, right? He's apologizing for his tattoo. Now, let me ask you in the chat. Should he really fucking have to apologize? Who is he apologizing to, right? I mean, okay, he made a mistake back in the day. All he has to say is, I made a fucking mistake. I got a swastika on my arm. It is what it is, right? She married me anyway. Doesn't matter. We know what the truth is, and that's all that matters. Why does he have to go through this long-winded apology? It's absurd.
I think it's less of him trying to justify himself and more of him trying to preserve the dignity of his wife, who is in the public eye a lot more than he is. He's trying to preserve that because she is coming to his defense, you know? She doesn't have to, but she is. So
yeah,
I think he's just trying to preserve her image.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, well, she's his meal ticket, right? Let's be honest, because no one knows who this guy is, right? So he's riding her coattails. So he has to save face and say, hey, I don't want to tarnish a career with my dopey tattoo. I'm going to write this long-ass thing. Let me know in the chat, yes or no. Yes or no. No one doesn't even know who he is. It's true. Stop offensivism. They are building a prison around you. Stop helping. Flying Brian XO. X laughing, whatever. Rest in peace, One Eye Billy. Yeah, by the way, yeah, we will talk about One Eye Billy in a second. If it is not fake news, we're going to talk about him in a second. But we want to know yes or no with this apology. Do you think he should have apologized like this? I mean, I guess he's got to show face, right? But all right, let's go back to the story.
All right.
Something tells me you don't want to read this.
No, I do. Okay,
yeah.
This is long.
Okay, good.
So this is the longest apology I've ever seen in my life.
All right.
All right. And to all of the elite pro fighters I've been blessed to work with, I pray this doesn't change your opinion of me, even though most of this group knows my story. Furthermore, I'd like to apologize to Andrea's sponsors, who were certainly blindsided by this, as were many. Know that I only offer reasons, not excuses or justification for the choices I made in my 20s. My body is covered in tattoos that tell the story of where I have been, what I've gone through, and what I've overcome. These scars, quote unquote, tell my history, which include a dark time when I was imprisoned. However, they do not accurately represent who I am today as a person, my personal belief system, and the respect I have for people of all races and religion. For 13 years, I have tried to atone for my sins and seek forgiveness from those who most certainly find my body reprehensible. I've, in most cases, gone to great lengths to always wear long sleeves in a public setting. The photo posted was a complacent error in judgment, as my excitement and not thoughtfulness ruled the day. Many of you have offered solutions to my problem, cover-ups, laser removal, etc. Please trust me when I say I have explored both avenues, and unfortunately, neither is an option for me. In the meantime, I understand that many won't forgive me and don't believe in second chances, and to you I say I understand. I don't deserve forgiveness, and I'm certainly not asking for sympathy. If, however, you do believe in forgiveness, then I promise it won't be wasted on me.
You're gonna wrap one on one shoulder.
Hold on, flag coming in.
On the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
Whites, shit, another one of our Klansmen has been exposed. What do? Whites, do what we normally do. Just call everyone liberals. SJWs are sensitive. Or hide behind the "he's a changed man" until people forget. Common man, get with it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It is so stupid. That's the first thing. It's like, Vlad, you hit the fucking nail on the head. Now, listen, I don't give a fuck if he has a swastika, because I don't give a fuck if he has, I don't care what he has on his body. It doesn't matter what the fuck he has on his body. Do I believe in Nazis? No, I think it's retarded and stupid and whatever. But it is what it is. The first thing people do is SJWs are defending him and this and that. I'm not defending him. I don't know. It's just so fucking retarded. All right, let's finish up with this apology and we'll move on.
Okay. Where did I leave off? Oh, promise it won't be. Oh. I am a different human being in my mid-40s than I was in my 20s. As a final testament to Andrea's character, it is with certainty that I can promise you that she didn't marry a racist. When Andrea and I met, I had already begun to reinvent my life, and if she'd seen any racist behavior or attitude, she'd have never given me the time of day. Instead, she met a man who was and still does speak to at-risk youth, who goes and speaks to inmates, who is active in his church, and who has always offered pro bono training to physically challenged and underprivileged youth. My life has become very culturally diverse, and Andrea stared right past my tattoos at the man I've become. I can't offer many solutions, but I do offer this. Unless you go digging up old photos of me, you'll never see my tattoos again. I'd rather hold the camera for Andrea, the real star anyway. Again, I offer myself as a humble and apologetic man. Please don't let the sins of my past define my future. Please don't let your hatred for me bleed into hatred towards Andrea. If you have to hate someone, then please hate me. She doesn't deserve it. She is genuinely the best person I know.
There you go. So that is, if you're just jumping in, Andrea Lee's husband, I forgot his name already. Anyway, what's his name? Donny
Aaron.
Donny Aaron, okay, who happens to be one of his trainers, her trainers or whatever, has a swastika tattooed on his forearm, and people are literally like, they want to burn down houses and murder people and say, oh my God, this guy is such a horrible person. Maybe he was a horrible person back in the day. That's possible, right? But it is what it is. All right, so that was a statement by this Donny guy, right? And I think that was a very good statement. It was a little long-winded.
Agreed.
But I think he pretty much covered everything, right? It looks like he reached out to somebody. He's like, hey, can you write this for me? I think that's what happened. But here's something funny. So now we know Flying Bryant will never cheer for Andrea Lee. So, I mean, what are we going to do, right?
She's losing so much.
What are we going to do? Oh, my God, Andrea Lee should just retire now because Flying Cunt will not cheer for Andrea. He's like, oh, my God, Andrea Lee. Oh, I can't root for you. Your husband has a swastika on his arm. Boo! Boo! Fuck you, Flying Brian, you piece of shit. All right, so now we move on into the story, okay?
Right.
And we saw that. Now, here's something funny. Here's another side of the thing, okay? This J.E. Snowden, okay, says it's just a Nazi tattoo, you sensitive ass mofos, right? And then he puts... This is where it gets kind of funny, right? Andrea Lee, she puts out a tweet defending this, right? And listen, right as this part of the story, I'm like, okay, listen, it could be a mistake. It's fine, you know. It is what it is. It represents something horrible, but they make a mistake, you move on, and that's that. In the back of my head, I'm saying to myself, she did marry a guy with a fucking swastika on his arm. There's a lot of men out there, and you find the one guy with this fucking swastika on your arm, like, Andrea Lee, what are you doing? That did stay in the back of my head, but who am I to judge, right? I'm just nobody, right? You go to this tweet over here, right? And here's Andrea Lee, and she goes, neither one of us are racist. Okay. Or are racist, it should be. We have an Asian and a black guy that live with us.
Wonderful.
It's like they took in an Asian and a black guy's like, now you can get away with your swastika tattoo. The fuck? They took something from my bag of tricks and they're like, oh, get a Mexican co-host and you can make fun of Mexicans. Bing, there she is. Hey, fuck Mexico. No, like so.
Mexico.
Oh, you know I'm kidding.
Wonderful.
But yeah, look at this. Neither one of us are racists. We have an Asian and a black guy that live with us. Oh my gosh, guys, it's a tattoo. He got it when he was in prison. Okay, so you got the black guy and you got the Asian in the house. Everything's fine. Now we don't have to get that thing taken off as long as we keep the Asian and the black guy here. Get over yourselves. He covers them up all the time. And we happen to have a lake day and it makes an appearance. Sensitive ass mofos. Okay? So here's the funny part. The whole story, I'm like, listen, this guy's got something here. He made a nice apology. And then his dumb fucking idiot wife was this thing. All right, Jessie. So what were you thinking about this?
Well, she did come back. It's not in the article because I didn't see it until afterward, but she did come back. I think it might be in an email. Also, she deleted her previous posts because people were lighting her on fire for the same reason. These tweets that she had left. Now, this was a screenshot, but she deleted them. And then she came back with her own apology, and I was unable to post it. I just didn't get to it in time. But on her wall, there is actually a fully written apology, just like her husband's, and about the tweets that she had originally posted, as well as her stance on the whole situation. So there's 2 apologies from both people. Honestly, here's how I look at it. If I were her, like if I had met someone who had a checkered past, and if they were clearly trying to make a difference in themselves, like if they were trying to change that part of them so they're not that person anymore, you gotta give them the benefit of the doubt. People are so quick to judge someone on their past. You know, it makes it impossible for those people to be forgiven for anything that they might have done. Exactly. So maybe it's not ideal to walk around with a fucking swastika. I would get it covered up. I'd probably suggest to him to get it covered up. But if he chose it, it's something that he didn't want to do. I don't know. I personally, being someone who is not even near a position to have a fucking swastika on me, given that I'm so fucking interracial, like, I don't know. I feel like it's still something I'd be able to look over. And I'm not even fucking racist. That's the thing. She's not racist, but guilty by association. And I saw it in the chat too. It's guilty by association, and it's true. Her being married to him, she's automatically guilty in people's eyes.
Well, I mean, listen, let's be honest. I mean, this guy must be a really great guy because she looked past the swastika. She's like, hey man, can I buy you a drink? You sure can, sweetie. Oh, is that a swastika on there? Let's have sex. Let's get married. And it's good. I mean, we don't know what happened there. By the way, Staley02 says he should pay a Jew to live with him. That's why I kind of laughed in the middle of the thing he was saying. He was saying, have a black guy, an Asian guy, and then throw a Jew in the mix. I mean, you know what? Not for nothing. Staley02 makes a great point. So he's got an Asian guy and a black guy, so it's fine. But you don't have the Jew, so maybe it's not completely fine. Where's the Jew? In the fucking oven? Where'd you keep him? He's the Jew's dessert? All right, I'm kidding. It's just a joke.
Wonderful.
Anyway, this is ridiculous. It's so fucking... Yeah. Let's read this how she should have wrote it. Neither one of us are racist. We have an Asian and a black guy that live with us. The Jew's in the oven, but who cares? No.
Wonderful.
Anyway, I don't know. I thought the story was fucking hilarious. I thought the story was so fucking funny because it's not about the guy with the swastika, right? When I first saw the story, I literally looked past it. I was like, who gives a fuck? As soon as I saw Flying Brian was part of this, I was like, whoa, stop it. We need to talk about this because Flying Brian will never root for Andrea Lee again. Shucks. That fucking sucks. Anyway. I'm howling. Wow, Chris. I mean, what the fuck? Staley02. I'm going to give credit to Staley02 for that one. But
I wanted to bring up in the chat, I saw it. There was someone who made a comment about Trump is the president now. So
I'm going to wrap one on one shoulder. I'm going to wrap the other on the other shoulder. And you're going to need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
White, don't forget to victimize yourself in your apology letter to draw sympathy from your cis-cough wife's fans. Something along the lines of, I know I don't deserve a second chance, sad face. Don't worry. Other whites will come up with better excuses.
It's like the white guy mistake handbook. Thank you, Vlad, for the donation. It's like, oh, fuck. They found the swastika. Let me go to my white guy handbook. Hold on a second. All right, page 3. Honey, make sure you talk about the black guy and the Asian guy. Don't forget to tweet that out. It says it here in the handbook, honey. It says it right here that if we ever get caught with a swastika on our arm, we make sure we talk about that black guy that we have live here. Hey, Tayshawn.
Super
time to tweet.
Tayshawn.
Serving time myself. A.B. Peckerwoods, take that serious. If you look carefully, he got a red high voltage. He shed blood for that. Who's helping him if they see it covered?
Now, that is a good point now and later. Thank you for the donation as well. If you guys want to donate and interrupt the show at any time, the Super Chat is open, and Streamlabs, you could drop in a song. But, yeah, the Immoral One's having a good time over there. I'm glad race is... I tell you what, race... if there's racism, I'm all over it. It's hysterical. I think racism is the best. I really do, because it's so stupid. It really is so stupid. Now, let's talk about what Now and Later said. Thank you guys for the donations. Do appreciate it. Serving time myself, AB Peckerwoods. Take that serious. If you look carefully, he's got the red Thunderbolt. So here's the thing. That is on the other side of his arm. Now, I'm not saying this guy did nothing wrong. He clearly has had an evil past. You know, he has had an evil past.
He beat up his girlfriend, too.
He's like, hey, honey. Wait, hold on a second. Super chat.
This reeks of someone looking for something to be outraged over, and they found it. They're both nitwits, which doesn't help their situation
it's
either.
so true. It's so true, WMMA. Thank you.
Yeah.
It is extremely true. I don't like to take sides here, right? And after reading what Andrea Lee said, dude, right out the window, it's just so fucking funny. It makes it even funnier, this story. But what were we saying? We were saying...
Okay, so yeah, he's clearly had a checkered past. Here's the thing.
Yes.
This guy was a former police officer. He was he was convicted. The reason that he was put in prison was, and I have it right here. It says that he was found guilty of negligent homicide in 2009 after shooting an unarmed man 7 times in 2005. He was incarcerated ahead of that conviction in 2007 because he allegedly beat up his ex-wife's fiance while awaiting trial. So he has more than just a checkered past with racial controversy. I mean, this guy got convicted for shooting a man more than he should have been shot, and for beating up another man, like his ex-wife's fiance. No, I thought it was his ex-wife. It's his ex-wife's fiance. So he beat up another man, but regardless, he still fucking went and beat up another person while awaiting trial. That can't be a smart guy.
He definitely made mistakes. There's no doubt about it. He definitely made mistakes. And you can question Andrea Lee. You could be like, okay, well, she did marry this guy who's, you know, I mean, but everyone changes, right? That's what it is. I don't know what to say. All I know, if you just look at the tattoo, if you just look at the story for what it is, right? Instead of going back into the past and stuff like that, you see where the kind of life they live like right now. They're a happy family. It's 2 whites, a black, and an Asian in the house, right? Totally happy. The problem with this tweet over here is, why is there an Asian and a black in the house? Like, what is the reason for the Asian and the black in the house? Like, I don't understand. Did they go to like the animal hospital, like the animal shelter, and the human animal shelter? Where do they get the Asian and the black guy? Why? See, this is what I want to know. Why do where's the follow-up tweet? Why is there an Asian and a black guy living in the house? Is this some sort of sexual thing, or what's going on there?
In-laws.
Like,
do you think that Andrea Lee or Donny Aaron have a brother or sister who are living with them who happen to be married to an Asian and a black guy? Polygamy?
Maybe. But I feel if you're going to drop the Asian and the black guy in there, you at least tell us why they're there, you know? Like, I can order Chinese food and Jamaican food and be like, I order at the same time and then make the tweet. So I could be like, hey, guys, just stay here for 1 second. I'm going to make this tweet. If they need a picture, just smile, all right? And then just be like, you type in the tweet like this. Like, okay, I have an Asian guy. I got a black guy here. You guys still hear it? All right, okay, cool. If we need a picture, we just need a smile. I mean, why are the Asian guy and the black guy here? They should have said, oh, my cousin and my this and that. Why even bring it up in the first place? It doesn't make any sense. It makes the story even funnier. Here's the deal. This is what I want to do, guys and gals. I want to open up the phone lines and see what your thoughts are on this topic. If you're getting in a little bit late, on the MMA-Holes.com, we kind of dabble into this a little bit more. Check this out. MMA-Holes, the MMA-Holes.com. Andrea Lee, who's on the UFC, in the UFC. She finally made it to the UFC. She is fighting there. She has her first victory.
Super
Isaiah
chat.
Moore, super chat.
Oh my God.
Chris, they are in the freezer.
Wait, who's it? Now,
the Asian and the black guy.
The Asian and black. I wasn't sure if they got the Jews out of the oven and like, oh, let's save it for later.
Oh my God.
All right. Anyway.
Wonderful.
This is not okay.
Yeah, if you're just jumping in, we're horsing around about this. It's not really even a serious topic. I mean, listen, Nazis is a serious topic, but not this tattoo. It is what it is, right? And the serious topic here is Flying Brian is not cheering for. He's cheering against Lee because
I gotta be honest.
So triggered.
Here's how I look at it, and we brought this up in maybe 3 streams ago. I have a religious tattoo, right? I have a religious tattoo on my rib cage. What if society just all of a sudden made the decision that religion was completely unacceptable and it was offensive to everybody? And if you had anything religious, like if you had a cross in your house, it's like this fucking swastika flag on your wall, if you have a cross in your house or some shit, it's offensive. You can't have anything religious. If that's the case, I got this. You have to think about, like, everybody makes those types of decisions to have something based on their own beliefs. Now, maybe his beliefs are completely fucking skewed, but he still had those beliefs at the time that he got the tattoo. You can't, yeah, he could get the cover up, but anyone who has tattoos, or most people who have tattoos, don't just get them for the fuck of it. They get them because they tell a story of a point in their life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So if that were the case with me, I'm not going to fucking, if religion were completely offensive and unacceptable, I'm still not going to cover up my tattoo. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, and I got it on my rib. So say I go and do a fucking picture at a lake and my rib is showing, like, it's ridiculous. So I get it. The swastika and everything, I could see how it's offensive to people, but he's not hurting anybody, you know? Like, it's there, yeah. His beliefs are probably really fucked up, but
I'm gonna wrap one on one shoulder. I'm gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder.
Flash coming in.
I need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
Andrea Lee's husband, honey, look. Under Chapter 4, Subsection G, it clearly states everything can be forgive if you get blacked. I'm not sure what that means, but there's hope for your career after all. Proceed to read Mein Kampf.
There you go. Thank you very much, Vlad, for the wonderful, wonderful donation there. If you're jumping in, we were talking about this story over here. It happened a couple of days ago, but it just keeps on being thrown back into the news. Andrea Lee's husband has a swastika tattoo. If you just look at the tattoo, I think me and Jessie both agree by what we were saying over here, a cumin. I think we both agree that who gives a fuck, right, about a tattoo. Now, what he done in the past, maybe you can call a guy out for what they did in the past. But between what about Roseanne Barr? We haven't even gotten into that shit show over there. I mean, this is not the type of show for this, but the only reason why I'm going to bring up Roseanne is it's similar to a situation like this. She might have went a little further, and Roseanne was supposed to be on Joe Rogan's show, and she canceled on Joe Rogan. And who knows what the future of Roseanne is. I am not a Roseanne fan. She puts out a tweet. I laughed at the tweet. I laughed at Gilbert Gottfried's tweet when he made a horrible tweet about the tsunamis years ago. And
they're
he got
comedians. They're supposed to be cringy.
It's ridiculous.
It's not like a knock-knock joke. Comedians don't fucking tell knock-knock jokes and become successful off of it. They tell cringy jokes and people laugh. Like, if you didn't laugh at that, they wouldn't be doing their job. You laughed.
I laughed.
That's the purpose. You're supposed to laugh.
She referred to her as Cornelius or some shit like that. Now, listen, it could be. I see how people think it's tasteless, but let's look at what she said here. It's so ridiculously stupid. Like, what does it matter? And people are literally like, "Oh my god, holy fuck!" It's just so ridiculous. Like, I get called every name in the book, you know, with the ginger, and I have no soul, and I'm a honky, and I'm a gringo, whatever the fuck I am, and I laugh it off. It's hysterical. I think it's so fucking funny. You know what? But I think what I need to do here is get one of every race to sit in the studio with me so I can say whatever the fuck I want. I already have the Mexican. I have an Italian and an Irish over here, so we're good there. We need to get some African Americans and some Asians in this fucking piece. So we're going to be taking, after the stream is done, in the comments section, you can apply to just sit in the background so we can say whatever the fuck we want. I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. I want to talk about this Andrea Lee situation with the swastika. I'm also going to recap, Jessie. We're going to look back real quick at this weekend's events. And UFC 225 is this weekend. UFC 225, huge, tremendous card. The biggest card of the year is this weekend. We will be covering it, and we're going to touch base on that. But phone lines are opening right now. 516-522-0267. If you want to interrupt the show at any time, look at the previous donations. The super chat.
Super chat.
Is like that underneath the phone.
There's no leaving AB. Maybe he needed protection.
There's no leaving. So here we go. There's another thing. And some people have been saying this. Like, if you are part of anything like the mob or any of this stuff, then the Nazis, if you've seen American History X, Ed Norton movie, fantastic fucking movie, very cringy. And I was like, oh my God, we're going pretty far here, but this is how life is. Unfortunately, there's lunatics like this out there. If you want to escape and you have that symbol on your body, if you are part of that group, they can kill you, I guess, apparently. So maybe that's why you didn't get rid of it. I don't know, nor do I care. The only reason why we're bringing this up is because people are in an uproar. Everyone's so fucking sensitive now. It's ridiculous. Look at our president, right? I'm not the biggest Trump guy in the world, but let's be honest. Look at our president. This is the world we live in. Deal with it. Fucking deal with it. You know, it's so stupid. White, black, Asian, fucking whatever color you are. Who gives a shit? It's so dumb. Let's have some fun with this stuff. It's ridiculous. Stop being so sensitive. It's insane. All right, let me. Sorry for hanging up on you. 516.
You didn't say it right.
What's that?
Stop being so sensitive ass mofos. That's what they're called.
Stop being an SJW. 516-522-0267. 310. You're live with the MMA-Holes. What's your name and what's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, this is Peter Christensen. I work as a ring announcer within combat sports. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up, Peter? What's going on?
Awesome.
Hey, not much. Sorry, I literally just stumbled across your show thanks to YouTube. So,
awesome.
By accident, thanks to YouTube. You were speaking with regards to the Andrea KGB Lee issue. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a really sticky situation, and I see a lot of things from both sides. The symbol itself, obviously horrific, has a horrific history behind it. And, so on one hand, I do want to give props to his name's Donny for stepping up and actually apologizing if he's offended anyone, saying that's not the person he was. But I have a hard time wrapping my head around, sorry if I have the quote incorrect, wrapping my head around that it would look too redneck if he covered it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we all know what that symbol represents. It's got a long, nasty history to it. But also, I'm also not happy with a lot of the people, we have the keyboard warriors, the haters out there throwing a lot of hatred towards him and Andrea. Obviously, if you're going to have things like that exposed, be prepared to have a lot of that hatred thrown at you. So, I'd like to see some kind of open forum where he's actually speaking to people, like speaking to you guys, for example, or speaking to people on the air in some capacity.
Peter, hold on one second, buddy. Hold on one second. We got a donation coming in. Hold on one second. Hold that thought.
Go ahead.
All right, Pulse coming in with the coffee tip dance.
Thank you.
We've all beat up someone or killed a few filthy homosexuals.
Jesus
Talk
Christ.
about forgiveness. P.S. Why are you keeping me from the Discord chat?
Oh my God, Jesse, send Pulse a link. Thank you for the donation.
Pulse, you have a link.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that, Peter, and thank you for the donation.
No worries.
All right. So you bring up an interesting point over here. Finish your thought, please.
Oh yeah. So I was just saying, I kind of see it from both sides, but I cannot give, I do not know any of these people whatsoever. I don't know Andrea. I don't know Donny. I don't know any of the people online who are critiquing him. Some of them I have communicated with on Twitter. Some people I know are good people just in terms of the Twitterverse, for lack of a better phrase. But I like to try to see any debate, any problem from both sides as best I can, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to judge someone based on their past if they really have made changes, but I think it really would be the sound thing to do for him to make some effort to actually have them covered up in some capacity. That doesn't mean I'm right. That doesn't mean that's what he should do. Mm-hmm. But you got to understand, if you have a symbol that was used by a hate group for so many years, on a global scale, you got to be prepared to accept the kind of, hatred or remarks that are going to be thrown your way. That's about all I can say on that. But I mean, can I have your guys' feedback on it? Because, I'd like to think he's a changed man, but he's got to do something about that. It's not a good look for anyone, but go ahead, guys. That's
a good point. Thanks for the call. That was Pete calling in. Now, all right. So he brings up something interesting here. I don't know if I really want him to go out there and, speak to the public and the people. I feel it's just going to snowball into something else. Yeah. I think his statement was enough, right? Now people can make a decision whether you want to root for Andrea or not. Flying Brian says, no, I'm not going to root for him. I feel that that's enough, right? When it comes to something like this, I don't think he needs to go out there and address a bunch of people. Now, with that being said, yes, the swastika symbol is something that it's probably one of the most iconic hate symbols of all time, if not the most iconic hate symbol of all time. This is something here that should give everyone chills, right? So as much as we're joking around about, this whole situation, we're not joking around about Nazis, right? Listen, this is some serious shit. And Andrea Hill, I guess you can say, well, what was she thinking marrying a guy with this fucking plastered on his arm? But there's always another side to the story. So Jesse, what do you think about that? Should he go out there, like the caller said, should he go out there and address the audience or address the public?
I think his apology was enough addressing the I think I have to agree with you. I don't think that he should continue to feed fuel to the fire. There's already a huge fucking fire with this whole situation. When it comes to whether or not he should cover it up, I know there's a lot of people who get tattoos for the fuck of it, just because it looks cool or whatever. But there's some people who literally get tattoos because it represents a moment in their life. Whether it's a good moment or a bad moment, it's a moment and it tells a story. So yeah, I mean, it kind of goes back to what I said before. I don't know if getting it covered up is really going to do much. Let me put it in this way. If he were to walk by you right now, you had no idea who he was, you saw his tattoo, would it offend you?
If I saw his tattoo?
Yeah, would it offend you, or would you just be like, it's a tattoo, and then just keep walking by?
I'm the type of person, we're going to open up the phone lines again in a second. I am the type of person that will go to somebody, if I see something on them, I start talking about, I start up a conversation because I have a lot of tattoos myself. So I like to hear the story. If someone has a swastika on their arm and we're in a situation, a public situation or something like that, and he seems like an approachable person, I might ask him like, hey man, how the fuck did you get that? I might say that. So, not a bad way.
You would approach him. You would learn the story.
Yeah,
so say he told you that he was in prison, he had those beliefs, but he doesn't have those beliefs anymore. Would it in any way harm you to know that he had those beliefs? Would it harm you?
If he said that he believed there's a reason behind the symbol and it was something he believed in, would it harm me?
Yeah. Would it, by learning that, by telling him that, if you went up and asked him, by telling him that, would it in any way harm you?
It's not going to harm me. I'm not going to really pass judgment. I'm like, all right, do you, man? Like, and kind of walk away.
My point is, it's not going to harm you.
Yeah.
Leave the guy alone. If he doesn't want to cover it up, he's the one who's going to have to deal with the consequences of other people making comments, right? Not us. Just leave him alone.
Oh, super chat.
Now and later coming back.
He can't speak about it, nor will he speak on why he really can't cover it. He's putting his and his family's life in jeopardy if he publicly did that.
See, so now and later is combating the call and saying, well, yeah, why would he put his family in jeopardy if he would do that? And that's a good point too. The caller says, okay, maybe he should just explain this to the public, and now and later is giving you a reason why he can't. Let me know. We're going to open up the phone lines in a second, but we have some more things to take care of here. We got 20 likes.
20 likes.
20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20. 20 likes. Hope the dislikes die of leprosy. That's right. Every 20 likes will play that fucking song. Phone lines are open at 516-522-0267. Call up quick. Make your point quick. Andrea Lee's husband with a swastika tattoo had a good call right over there. What do you think about this? Should he get this removed? Should Andrea Lee be punished for having a man with a swastika tattoo? Is it just being all blown out of proportion? People saying they're not going to root for Andrea Lee anymore. Are they right? Are they wrong? Let me know right now. 732, you are live with the MMA-Holes. What's your name and what is on your mind?
Who the fuck is Flying Brian?
Yeah, right? Who the fuck is...
It's Marky Wahoo.
Marky. Marky, were you around when we had our little bit of... Well, when we got shut down? I don't know if you were around for this, but one of the times we got... Go ahead.
No, I don't think I was.
Oh, okay.
What happened?
So, quick story. We got shut down by Vox, and in the tornado of that being shut down, Flying Brian got thrown in the mix. He's basically a nobody, but he has a nice little blue check next to his name. Some may say he might have paid for it. Who knows? But he writes for an MMA Mania. He works for Vox Media, who's really likes us, Vox. They're really good friends of ours. And he's a cunt. He's a fucking cunt. He threw me under the bus for no reason, because I associated with a good friend of mine. He blocked me. He wouldn't even let me defend myself. It's unbelievable. And now he won't fight Andrea Lee. He won't watch Andrea Lee. He won't root for Andrea Lee because she's married to a swastika, Marky.
Well, do you think that was on the application when he got the job? Do you have a fucking swastika on your shoulder?
I don't know.
I don't get it. Like, it's his fucking body. And is it the dude that you posted a picture of? It looks like Mike Perry's dad.
The husband of Andrea Lee? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I don't even know who the fuck she is, too.
Yeah. Well, Andrea Lee, she's got a decent background, and she's a damn good fighter. Coming into the UFC with a big win. She's good. She's good, but I mean, her response. I don't know if you were jumped in a little bit late. She has a black guy and an Asian guy there, so they're not racist, Marky.
Yeah, okay, but they're calling him a nip and a boon fucking every time. Hey, it doesn't make any sense. It's his shit, his body, and you know what? He should fucking come out, give everyone the finger, say if you don't fucking like it, too fucking bad. I got it in prison. I murked out a couple shines, and this is what I got. Deal with it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Whatever. It's his fucking body. Who cares?
All right, Marky. Thanks for the call. Like we were saying before, it's not like we're saying it's great that you have a swastika on your arm. It is stupid. I mean, let's be honest. It's fucking dumb. Let me know in the chat. This was asked of me last week. Would you get a swastika tattoo for $1 million? Would you put a swastika on yourself, on your body for $1 million? Yes or no? Jesse, it seems like the crowd, it seems like most people are like, who cares, right? Who gives a fuck? I don't think anyone condones Nazis, but it's just so ridiculous.
I agree. Honestly, I don't even fucking condone Nazis or Nazism, quote unquote. My point is it's ink, guys. It's ink. You're putting ink into your skin. Yeah, it's permanent. Yeah, you could get it covered up, but it's not in your fucking skin. It's in someone else's skin. It's not going to bother you at the end of the day when you don't see that guy anymore. It's going to bother him. He's the one who has to pay the consequences for it. Like, what the fuck does it matter? It's ink.
Yeah,
that's all it
ridiculous. Boss Coker says, yeah, he would put the swastika for $1 million. Ian Schmidt says, yeah. Trisket, yeah. Greg Oden, yeah. It's good to know our chat room would put swastikas on themselves. But Sean McKenzie won't. Let's see. Rest in peace, One Eye Billy. I'm going to talk about One Eye Billy after one more call on this topic over here, and we're going to move on to our next topics because we do have a huge event. UFC 225 is on Saturday. I need to dabble into that. There is a show on Wednesday night. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subbed. Check us out. The MMA-Holes.com is where all the fun is. Over there, we're simulcasting on that as well. And yeah, last call over here. 773, you're live with the MMA Holes. What's your name and what's on your minds?
First off, Jesse, I thought you lived in Arizona.
I do live in Arizona.
Okay, so you're just coming to bunk in with Chris, or what's going on there?
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
What's going on there? Like, you moving to New York or something? That's pretty far away.
Yeah, well, we built this new teleportation device. We can't tell anyone about it because it's like a Back to the Future type of thing, but I can move locations now every week. Wednesdays, I'm back in Arizona. Mondays, somehow I magically appear.
Damn, okay, it's a pretty far trip. But anyways, hey, I told you, Gregor Gillespie, Chris, he's pretty tough. He's a good fighter.
Yeah, Gregor is very tough. I got to say, Gregor Gillespie is the real deal. I do believe this. We put a poll out there on the channel. We put a poll out there saying, is he him or Marlon Moraes? Who's going to be the champ? Who's going to be a champ? Who's more likely to be a champ over here? And everyone said Marlon Moraes. But I think people are sleeping on Gregor Gillespie. The only negative about Gregor Gillespie is this. He doesn't want to call anyone out. He doesn't like doing any promos for himself. And I feel this is going to be a problem for him. When it comes to him as a fighter, this guy is a fucking beast. He really is a beast.
I like that, though, he's not calling people out, because too many people call people out. He's going the opposite direction. I think he's getting more fans that way, getting a little bit more buzz that way, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, well, listen, it could work, but I don't know. In this day of an age, in the UFC, if you want to, and he's 31 years old, I feel he's right at his prime right now. I'm not saying be a dick, but just throw a name or two out there, and I feel that will boost him up a little bit quicker. You know, that's I don't know, but regardless, Gregor Gillespie is the real deal. Vince Pitchell, whatever the hell this guy's name, that's a tough dude, and he just kind of completely ran him over. So kudos to Gregor, the gift, and yeah, he's the real deal. What do you think about this card, 225 coming up?
There's some good fights on it. I think Kobe's gonna run through RDA, use that All-American Wrestling, did what Khabib did to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we're going to find out very soon.
The last thing I wanted to touch on, what is with all these MMA media? They're such dorks, they're such clowns. Who is it? Luke Thomas, Sean Sheehan. They're fucking nerds. And I don't think they've ever competed in any combat sport in their life, but they somehow are like these big names in MMA media, and you got a respected voice. Like, where are the former athletes?
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Chael Sonnen is like the only MMA journalist I look up to, and every time he says something, it's usually fact 100%.
You know, to be in the MMA, I mean, we have credentials, and I'm an open just fan. Like, I am not a badass in any way. I am just a fan on YouTube, making fun of things and loving the sport of mixed martial arts. What do I know, right? I have intertwined myself with MMA media, and basically, if you want to get off the phone and be part of MMA media, just start writing a blog, and boom, you're a part of MMA media. It's that simple.
Fucking Vox Media hires you, and a bunch of Jews start pushing a bunch of weird-ass agendas.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, thanks for the call, man. So there you go. All right, so Jessie, let's go back for a second. I want to cover this whole card over here real quick, the UFC Utica card. And this card here, some people didn't even see it. Some people didn't even give a fuck about this card over here, and I think it was fun. Right off the bat, I actually reached out to Jose Torres. Now, people are like, Jose Torres? Who the fuck is that guy? This guy over here, on 9 days rest, 9 days notice, cuts what, 20 some odd pounds. Do you remember the exact number, Jessie?
20.
I can't remember. Anyway, it was
24 pounds.
Yeah, something like 24 pounds. He comes in there and just gets fucking wiped up with Jared Brooks. Jared Brooks just does work. It's the first fight of the prelims, right? Early prelims. And in the second round, Jose Torres gets lifted up. Jared Brooks looks to slam him. Torres readjusts himself, scoots down Brooks's back. Brooks falls backwards while Torres is in the air. Brooks falls backwards and knocks himself out. He knocks himself out. Cold. Like cold. Jose Torres was on the MMA Hour today, and he was saying that he felt Brooks out cold, and he just pounced on top of him and just started teeing off on him just to, there's two reasons why he did it. He did it because he felt him go limp, right? And he wanted to, you're supposed to finish the fight. Actually, three things. He said that he didn't want Brooks to look bad, so he jumped on top of him and finished him with strikes. He didn't want to just get up and be like, hey, there you go. You know? So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of reasons. But anyway, that's what happened here. Brooks knocked himself out by slamming Torres to the ground. Now, Jessie, I'm not sure. I think you did see this fight. What do you think about this fucking finish? I mean, this is insane.
I said it on Fight Night too. It was definitely unexpected, but I didn't see him knock himself out the first time around. I actually had to watch the replay before I was finally came to the realization that he was the one that knocked himself out. At first, I thought Torres had knocked him out via TKO, like he just jumped on his back and started beating the shit out of him. I thought he was still conscious. I had no idea, but then I noticed
so funny.
it afterwards.
It was so fucking funny. Let me know in the ones in the chat if you caught this. The first fight on UFC Utica. This is why it pays to watch the early prelims. It was so funny. I was laughing so goddamn hard. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? This dude just literally slammed himself's head into the fucking canvas. And Jose Torres is like, oh, well, I'm just going to take the win right now. So I guess it paid off, cutting the 24 pounds, taking the fight, and now being a part of the UFC on the weirdest win I've seen in a long time. You go through this card over here, and there were some fun fights. There were some fun fights over here. Now, yes, there were decisions, but they were good wars, okay? And I enjoyed it. Go over to the main card where it really counts, Alvey versus Vellante. Well, this one was a stinker. Everything else is pretty good. But this fight over here, Vellante versus Alvey was a stinker. With that being said, Sam Alvey, he wins again. And he's a little bit heavier over here at dad body weight. And he beats Gian Vellante. So is Alvey a player? Well, we're going to find out very soon. He calls out Corey Anderson for his next fight, and we'll see what happens with that. Tamor versus Arce. This kid, Julio Arce, or however you say his name, he's good. He is really good. This guy can strike. He's someone to look out for if you haven't heard of this Julio fella. We'll check him out. He's very good. Ben Saunders with a huge win over here, destroying Jake Ellenberger. You got Harris versus Spitz. Another dominating performance over here by Walt Harris. move over to Gillespie with fun fight. To me, fight of the night. I'm not sure if they got fight of the night over here, but Gillespie versus Pitchell, this was probably one of the most fun fights to watch. It was on the ground, but Gregor was relentless. And this guy, all he does is try to finish fights. And he does, finishing them fights. And then you have this over here. MORAES versus JIMMIE Rivera. Okay. So, Jessie, MORAES versus JIMMIE Rivera. Switch kick. Rivera gets dropped. Rivera doesn't really get dropped. I mean, Marlon Moraes is like, no, you're going to get dropped. And fucking puts him away. Puts him away. 4:27 left in the first round. We didn't even get to fucking sit down in our seats after our piss break. The fight happens. Boom. Done. That's it. Marlon Moraes. This kid looks like he is the real deal. Now, Jessie, do you think that has a legitimate shot at grabbing a title over here? The 30-year-old man from Brazil who trains out of Jersey, he's on a little bit of a tear. At 135, 3 fights in a row. You got Dotson, you got Aljamain Sterling with vicious shit, 2 vicious stoppages in the first round. Marlon Moraes, performances of the night. What are your thoughts on this guy? Do you think that this guy at 135, can he take out a Cody Garbrandt? Can he take out a TJ Dillashaw or a Dominic Cruz? Do you believe that he deserves a title shot in his next fight? What do you think, Jessie?
I think that if everybody else who said it was luck is right, then no, he doesn't deserve a shot because it's just luck. It just happens to be how he has won against both Sterling and Rivera. But if it's his intent, if it's not just luck, if it's something that he has strategically planned, then maybe he is good enough to win a title. You never know. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, probably. If I have a feeling it's luck, though.
So you think he's lucky? Jessie?
Yessie.
I disagree. But this can get the chat room going over here. Jessie says he believes Marlon Moraes is lucky with his 2 finishes. Yes, they're quick, and you don't get to see more of Marlon Moraes, but maybe you can say he timed that knee in a certain way. Here's the thing, and this is where I can play devil's advocate here, because I don't think it is luck. I think he puts himself in position to win. But the 2 finishes, right? Aljamain Sterling, when Aljamain got hit with the knee, it almost looked like it was a kick, and he cracked him with the knee. It looked like he was throwing a kick, and he cracked him with the knee. And then you have this fight over here with a switch kick. Well, he didn't hit him flush, and Marlon Moraes actually said this himself on the MMA Hour. He said that he didn't catch him flush. It looked flush. His shin cracked the side of his head, but maybe he wanted foot to face or something like that. I don't know, but Marlon Moraes says he didn't catch him flush. Regardless of the fact, he put these 2 guys out quickly, and these guys are legit guys. Rivera and Aljamain Sterling are very legit fighters, and Marlon Moraes made some quick work. So what do you guys think in the chat? Make sure you like the shit out of this thing with 70 people watching right now. Every 20 likes, we play the 20-like song. 10,378 subscribers. I think we're going to hit 10,000, actually 11,000 at UFC 225. Jessie, any predictions? UFC 225, which we'll talk about very shortly. What do you think? Will we hit 11,000?
RDA for the win. And Whittaker for the win.
Well, no, will we hit 11,000 subscribers?
Yes.
All right. Oh, so you're just not even a thought. We're just going to hit it.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. We're going to talk about it in a second. Chat room is saying, dude is a stud. Edward McIntosh. Marlon looks for real to me, says Allman Brothers. Rest in peace, One Eye Billy. All right. Let's talk about One Eye Billy. So I got some news. I don't know how many people in the chat remember One Eye Billy. Hit me with the ones in the chat if you remember One Eye Billy. Ones for One Eye Billy. Now, okay. I've had people reach out to me before and say, oh my God, this person died, that person died, and it turned out to be a hoax. We've had it happen before. I had it happen again, and it was this past weekend, and it seems to be a reliable source, but let me know in the chat if you remember One Eye Billy. One Eye Billy used to call in. He's like, hey, Chris, how you doing? And he was really fucking funny. He hasn't called in a while, and from this source, we hear that One Eye Billy has passed. Now, if this indeed is true, and I'm going to give this person the benefit of the doubt, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry to hear about this to the family. I hope, you know, I mean, I don't, what do you say when someone passes, right? It sucks. It really does suck. So if One Eye Billy indeed is moved on to the next world, respect to you, my friend, One-Eyed Billy. You were funny. You were a funny dude calling in here and shaking the show up every time you did call. So respect to you, and my thoughts go out to your family. Jessie, would you like to say anything to One-Eyed Billy?
I'm not really good at these things.
Okay, good. Chat room, let me know. One-Eyed Billy. Let's get a R.I.P. One-Eyed Billy. R.I.P. One-Eyed Billy right now in the chat. He has not passed bullshit. Moss, you want me to take a Flying Brian? I'm fucked anyway. Moss, you want me to take out Flying Brian? Nah, it's all good. You can fuck with him on Twitter. Fuck with him on Twitter. That's the best place to do it. You'll get blocked instantly because he gets triggered so fast. He gets triggered before he can even do anything. Rest in peace, One-Eyed Billy. You always had us laughing our asses off to Sean McKenzie, meth lab accident, but for real, rest in peace. There is no hereafter. Just ask anyone who's OD'd. He did the Sling Blade voice. Yeah, there it is. Fake news. Rest in peace, One-Eyed Billy, says Mad Pickens. If he's really dead, he can entertain the masses in hell. There you go. There you go. A lot of rest in peace, One-Eyed Billy. Says Hammer K. You want to do your best One-Eyed Billy, Jesse? Perfect. It sounded just like him. It sounded just like him. Now, if you're just jumping in, we spoke about Andrea Lee's Nazi husband. If you want to know our thoughts on that, you can just have to rewatch it again. We spoke about UFC Utica. We spoke about the passing of a good friend of the show, One-Eyed Billy. Now we're going to go to the meat and potatoes. Okay, there is a big, huge, massive card this weekend. We're going to talk about this card. We're going to open up the phone lines, and then we're going to wind this shit down. We'll be live Wednesday night, Jesse. High five.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay, let's look at UFC 225 right over here. Rafael Dos Anjos versus Colby Covington is the co-main event, and Whittaker versus Romero is the main event of the evening. Now, if you are in our Pick'em League, Goat Milk, congratulations to Sports Ace over here. Sports Ace, hit a motherfucker up at social media. I don't have your address anymore. At the MMA-Holes. All right, or the MMA-Holes at gmail.com. You can hit us up through the website. There's so many ways to hit us up so you can get your wonderful, wonderful wristbands. This week on, UFC 225, not only do we have one of the greatest cards of all time, we're probably going to be streaming the whole entire card. So we'll be doing a fight reaction to that, and that's going to be wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
But the winner of Goat Milk, our UFC Pick'em League, if you go to our website, the MMAHoles.com, you go to our Pick'em League. There you go. And you just click the goat. You can be, boom, right in there. It's completely free. We will give you anything from the MMA-Holes merch store. One item from the merch store, whether it is socks, a t-shirt, a sweater, a phone case, a towel, whatever you guys want, we will give it to you from the MMA-Holes store, the winner of Goat Milk. So it's going to be exciting. Make sure you play it completely free, and it is on the MMAHoles.com. All right, here we go. UFC 225, fire. Absolute fire. Okay, you got Ige versus Santiago, the first fight on the early prelims, and then boom, Oliveira versus Clay Guida. Guida, come on. This is just fun. It's just a fun fucking fight. You have Benavidez against Pettis. You have a number 1 versus a number 5 on the early prelims. What is going on there? Evans versus Smith. Is this Rashad Evans' last fight versus Anthony Smith? We'll find out. And that is just the early prelims. 4 fights right there. Going into the FS1 prelims, and you have a fucking Fatso versus Fatso. This fight has KO written all over it. You have Lamas versus Bektik, 7 versus 11. You have Gedalia versus Esparza. Now you're talking about fights that should be on the main card. Overeem versus Blades is headlining the prelims. It's its own card. And then you have the GOAT, CM Punk versus Mike Jackson. Arlovsky is about to get his head knocked off by Toy Vaiza. You have Holm that's going to introduce Megan Anderson to the UFC. Dos Anjos versus the nerd-bashing Colby Covington. And Whittaker Romero 2. Complete fire. Absolute fire. And we're going to be hanging out with you this Saturday night. Jessie Bell Hill. Now, what I want you to know, what I want from you is, how excited are you for UFC 225 in Chicago? What are you looking out for? And what are your thoughts on this huge event?
I'm not excited for Holly Holm pushing Overeem down to the prelims. That kind of sucks. But it does take place in Chicago, which is my home, sort of hometown. I wasn't in Chicago, but I was near Chicago. So I think that's probably more exciting than anything, along with the fact that it is a stacked card. But I don't know. We'll see. I have good thoughts for the main and the co-main event. So hopefully it passes through to my predictions.
Jessie, I'm telling you right now, you could mark my fucking words right now that UFC 225 is going to blow your fucking mind. It's going to blow your mind. It's like you're not going to even be able to control yourself. You're going to be soaked. You're going to be moist during this card because it literally is a name fest. Everyone on this card is a known fighter, but it's not just that they're a known fighter. I feel the matchups are very good. They're very, very good matchups. Besides Punk versus Jackson, you got a circus on here too, right? You got that. So not only do you have very good matchups, you have a circus. Arlovsky is a setup. Okay, maybe we can get rid of those two. But Holm versus Anderson's very intriguing. Very, very intriguing at 145. And, of course, these are intriguing fights over here. Mean a lot. Lots on the line. But going through the prelims, you got Godalia versus Esparza. Two girls that love to roll on the floor. A lot of scissoring going on, Jessie. Lots of scissoring. You excited about scissoring in the cage?
Absolutely.
Look at that. Chicago love. JBH is mad picking. Let me know if you're from Chi-Town or if you're going to the fight. Jessie, wouldn't you like to go to this fight?
I would, but, I mean... It's really when you live in Chicago for so long or near Chicago, there's only so much you can see before it becomes so normal. So
yeah,
I mean, you live in New York. It's probably one of the highest tourist spots in the United States. So after a while, it kind of just becomes second nature to you, just living here. It's not like a touristy type of thing. I think it's the same thing with Chicago.
Well, I'm not saying about excited to go to Chicago. Just this card alone. Fuck Chicago. I've been to Chicago before. I don't have to ever go back. It doesn't really do anything. I mean, it was cool. It was a cool place, but it is what it is. Let's see. I see over there 0-1 versus 0-1. Yeah, it's ridiculous. 3 fights will be canceled, says Greg Odin Blaze. And this is what I want to talk about before we open up the phone lines. UFC 225 is this weekend. And why is no one talking about Yoel Romero not being able to make weight? Because here's the deal. Everyone forgets that Yoel Romero missed weight, right? With the Rockhold fight. And they're just like, yeah, he fucking finished Luke Rockhold and blah, 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 blah. But he missed weight. He fucking missed weight, right? Rockhold was supposed to fight Whittaker, yes. But regardless, Yoel Romero was not able to make weight. So let me know in the chat, do you think Yoel Romero will make weight for this Robert Whittaker fight? After what's been going on lately, I think there's a good chance that Yoel Romero will miss weight. Jessie, what do you think?
I don't think so. I think Yoel Romero is hungry. I think after the first fight, he really, I mean, you got to look at him. He's worked hard to get to where he is now, even if he missed weight with Luke Rockhold. So I think he's so hungry, he's willing to do anything it takes. I think this time he's going to make weight.
Yeah, so you're saying he will make weight. You know what? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I think that Gay Jesus will not make weight. That's what I'm saying. Let me know in the chat, yes or no. I'm going to say no because look at what, I mean, if Darren Till can't make weight in his home country, you know, everything is on, like, just pushed in front of him is like, here you go, young man. Here it is, and he doesn't make weight in his own country. Maybe Yoel Romero will miss weight. Yoel Romero was in New York today on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani. He has a fight this Saturday. What is he doing? Just make your fucking... What are you doing in New York? No, just enough of this media shit. Make sure you make weight. That's what I'm saying. Let's see what the chat says. Also, let's open up the phone lines as we wind this shit down. Thank you so much for the donations. I appreciate it. Thank you, patrons. We have a couple of new peeps in our Patreon. Thank you so much. The Patreon and the donations are what keeps us going and flowing here. And this is why we can put out so much content. This is why I stream when I'm sick. Right, Jessie? High five. Rain or shine, we have to, the show must go on. All right, let's open up the phone lines at 516-522-0267. Let me know what you think about UFC 225. Let me know what you think about UFC Utica or UFC Swastika. Let me know what you think right over there. Jessie, it's the time of the show where you read the chat.
Brian Brian Reuter. Thanks, Jesse. Didn't know Yoel and Rob already fought.
Too
Phone
late.
call.
There you go. Thank you, Jesse. Unknown caller, welcome to the MMA Holes. What's your name and what's on your mind?
Last thing with this Andrea Lee stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares if he's a Nazi? Because I'm a Nazi too.
Uh-oh.
I don't like Jews. Who
You don't-
likes Jews? Do you like Jews? Have you been around Jews?
I got a couple of Jew
They're really
friends.
shady people, real sneaky. Like, all they care about is money, swindling money, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good group of people,
All right,
especially
thanks.
the bankers.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for the call. So there you go. Off with the Jews. Jesse, do you have? I have Jew friends. I do. I do. I have Jew friends, and they're nice people.
Are they?
Well, I let them know that they're Jewish. You ever notice this, right? And listen, if you have a Jew friend, you always call them the Jew, right? Like I have a Jew friend, we call him the Jew. That's what we call him.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I have my barbers. They're the Russian Jews, and they're hilarious.
They're Jews.
They call me.
And they're Russian.
They're Russian Jews. That's right.
Okay. Do you like them?
They're good people. They're fucking hilarious. They're hilarious. They're absolutely hilarious. So yeah, listen, it is what it is. All right, here we go. 516-522-0267. Get your calls in right now. Let me know who is going to win UFC 225. What do you think of UFC Utica? And what do you think? Hold on. What do you think of UFC Swastika? Let me know. Make sure you check out the MMAHoles.com. We are trying to boost numbers over there. So just click on the site and push our numbers up in the air. Make sure you leave it open in your browser so we get that click and that view time. And there is a message board that is 24/7. And you can, oh, Jesus Christ. Andrea Lee should use this as a walkout song. Okay, let's listen. No, hold on. 812, you are live with the MMA Holes. What's your name? And see you later. All right, there we go. 516-522-0267. Okay, there we go.
Wonderful, wonderful.
If you want to see the whole song, we'll go to Stalio 2 on the message board. Unknown caller, you're live with the MMA Holes. What's your name and what's on your mind?
Well, hey there, brother. It's KMX. How you doing?
It's KMX. What's going on, KMX?
Hey, I'm just wondering why the fuck my main account is banned from the channel after I come back after like 3 months.
Why are you out of breath? What do you do? Were you going for a jog before you went for the call?
Yeah, I just finished up a run, but I'm seriously wondering why the fuck my account's banned.
Well, listen. If this is indeed the real KMX, which I'm having a feeling it's not, but if it is, how do we know this?
It very much is, my friend. I promise you.
This is the real KMX. Hold on, I need a shirt.
KMX 193. I've been in your fucking chat as Earthbot.
Hold on a second. Can you send me a shirtless pic so I know it's you?
Look, man. I never made any accounts. I never fucked with you guys. I'm serious.
All right. Well, here's the deal. Actually, you know what, KMX? I'm going to say this right now. We might have falsely accused you in some instances. This might be the case here. We've come up. There's some things that have popped up that we might have falsely accused you. So if that is true, and we did, we apologize. But just come in as Earthbot. Why do you have to come in as KMX? Just come in as Earthbot. We'll know who you are.
All right. I'll come in about 2 seconds, okay?
All right, do that. All right, I'll see you later.
I don't think...
All right, bye. 516-522-0. Why is he all out of breath? What is he doing? What's wrong with this guy? He's obviously masturbating. Jesse, what do you think about that?
No, I'm just reading the chat. I think it's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. He's like... oh. All right. Okay. 516-522-0267. We're going to take a couple more calls. Let me know what happened. False accounts. This is great. Yeah, it's a long story. Some people have a lot of time on their hands. So it is what it is. All right. So, yeah, let us know what you think on the MMAHoles.com, the message board. Andrea Lee's husband with the swastika tattoos. All that fun stuff. 503, you are live with the MMA Holes. What's your name and what's on your mind?
Hello, Chris. Ann H.
Ann H. What's going on, Ann?
Just listening to the show. It's interesting tonight.
I tell you what, when we think swastikas, we think Ann H. So, Ann H., can you shed some light on this story?
Well, Flying Brian just likes to stir up trouble again.
You know what? And this is
you know how much I love him.
Yeah, you know what? I was actually brought you up in a. I'm not gonna say who I was talking to before, but I was gonna. I brought you up in a conversation, and I said this person blocked Ann H. Who the fuck in their right mind would block Ann H? It is the dumbest. This is how much of a cunt Flying Brian is, that he would fucking block you on Twitter. It's the dumbest thing in the world. You're just literally the sweetest knitter I've ever met in my life. And defend yourself right here and attack Flying Brian right now.
Flying Brian, you suck, man. You're a dick. Fuck you for blocking me for no reason after I supported you all them years.
Ann H, call him a cunt.
There.
I think you should call him a cunt. I think you should do. No.
Flying Brian, you're a cunt.
Yes. Yes, Ann H. I like that.
Knitter, I'm going to come for you. Watch out.
The claws are coming out tonight. 7% are riled up. Man, oh, man. So what do you think, Ann H? I mean, tonight was an interesting show, right? I have to say. What do you think about these topics? I mean, you have a huge card in UFC 225. You had a card that just happened, which was a pretty decent card, and you have a guy with a swastika. What do you say about all this?
Yeah, the guy with the swastika. I mean, it's like you say, we don't know the whole story of everybody, but like you said, tattoos tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wasn't the smartest move, probably to have it open, where you can see it like that. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit there and make it. It probably wouldn't even been brought up, first of all, until who put it into the whole thing, and Flying Brian, and it blew up, and now everybody's famous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Ann H, let me ask you a question. If Mike H came home with a Nazi tattoo, would you find an Asian and a black guy to live with you so you can get away with the Nazi tattoo? Would you do that?
That would even it out. There you go.
Right? It makes it so much better, right? It's like, oh, shit.
That would make it so much better, yeah.
I can see Mike coming home. He's like, honey, I made a decision. I'm not sure if it's the right decision, but here you go. Got a swastika over here. Call the black guy and the Asian. Yeah. He's on standby. They're on standby right now because we have a swastika. All right.
Yeah, I'm calling him right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. There you go. Ann H, thank you for the call. And you know what? Because you usually are the last caller of the night, we're just going to end it with you, Ann H. We're going to lend it.
Okay.
We should do this. We should have like Ann H's final thoughts, right? We should do it like Jerry Springer had his final thoughts. We should have the Ann H final thoughts. Let me see. Is there a picture? Hold on. I'm going to pull up a picture of you right now. Let's see. Let's see a second. You have a good.
Oh, no.
What picture would you like me to show? Is there anything that you have that you would love to show, Annie? Hold on. I'm going to do this. Let's see. Okay. Ann H.
7% shirt.
Okay, I'm going to put the Cowboy Cerrone picture up here.
Okay, Cowboy Cerrone.
All right, so this is Ann H's Twitter. Make sure you go follow Ann H, unlike Flying Brian, who says, I'm going to block you. All right, here's Ann H. We're going to do Ann H's final thoughts over here. Every show that Ann H calls in, if she is the last caller, we're going to have her do her final thoughts. Ann H, the floor is yours.
Oh, my God. Hey, I say Whittaker is going to win, and Romero is going to miss weight. Sorry, don't agree. He's going to miss weight. And RDA is going to win. There you go.
All right. That is a new segment called
Flying Brian, take a flying hike.
Fuck you, Flying Brian. All right, Ann H, thank you.
Fuck you, Flying Brian. Fuck you.
Thank you for
final thoughts.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
yeah.
Wee!
All right, Ann. Thank you. Thank you very much for the call. Appreciate it. All right. Free KMX. Did he come in? Did he jump into the chat?
Yeah.
Is he there? Where is he?
No, he left.
He left.
He said he'll be back in a few months when he builds up the courage to watch this trash show again.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you later. Anyway, come in as Earthbot. The fuck. Here's the reason. The reason why I'm not going to sit there and look through. We had the Korean invasion. We have all these. It's a fine KMX. Just make the real KMX account or some shit like that. I'm sure you have some fake accounts. Just make it the real KMX and just come back here. Listen, it is what it is, right? We don't hate anyone. Except for, how about that Henry Ford guy? That guy, he got so triggered. He's like, I'm unsubscribing to you. Well, see you later. What the fuck? Like when people say, I'm unsubscribing to you, right? It's like that really, like we give a fuck. Like, oh my God. Jessie, Henry Ford has just unsubscribed. Should we shut the channel down? I mean, I think we should stop. One person just doesn't like what we're doing. We talked about swastikas and a black and an Asian guy living in a home with an Andrea Hill.
Well, we can't not be liked by just one person. So I agree. I think that the whole channel should just shut down because now we have one person who doesn't like us.
It's true.
That's not acceptable.
It is.
People have to like us.
I'm butthurt. My butt hurts every day when I sign off, and I lose sleep because Henry Ford is not part of the MMA-Holes. Anyway, all right. Well, fuck you, Henry Ford. Fuck you. All right. The MMA-Holes hour is what you just watched. If you're jumping in too late, you can rewind it back. In the comment section, let me know what you think about this whole swastika disaster. Is it bad? Is it not bad? Do you give a fuck? Do you not give a fuck? Let me know what you think about UFC 225 and UFC Utica that just passed. What do you think about that crazy finish in the first fight? What do you think about MORAES, Gillespie, Gregor the Gift? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to Jessie in the comment section down below after the stream. We'll be live on Wednesday night. Henry, I hate Jews Ford. There you go.
Wonderful.
We'll be live on Wednesday night for TGIW. Subscribe to Jessie Bell Hill in the description. Kill all Jews. Oh, wait, hold on. What the fuck, Jessie? What happened there? Stop it. Stop it. Anyway, I was kidding. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate the support from the MMA-Holes. We love you, motherfuckers. Jessie Bell Hill, you know what to do.
As always, don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-Hole.